Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a pretty big box of coins to show you. We just got back from NGC, and some ground rules here. First of all, for those of you keeping track at home, this group of coins is going to be all from an economy service that we sent in. And also remember to like, please. I keep getting told that I should tell you to do that, to like the videos. So go ahead and do that for me if you don't mind at the end of the video. Also, we have something a little bit different about this video, and that is something that you're going to have to guess what it is. So at the end of the video, obviously comment on whatever grabs you, but there's something different about this video. I'm not going to tell you what it is, and you have to guess at the end. And maybe I can let you know individually based on your guesses whether you hit the nail on the head or not. So economy service, we had a bunch of coins we sent in that were coins that I traditionally wouldn't have sent in. I was trying to high grade a bunch of early, or we'll go back to calling this mid-century modern minor coins, smaller coins. So this 1930 penny came back as 66 red, and in this grade, the coin is pretty valuable overall. It's a coin I had put down as a $100 coin on my list, and this in gray sheet bids at $85. So pretty close on that one. If I just wrote down $85, that would have been too precise. Just a reminder, I use gray sheet. I'm probably just using the paper gray sheet on most of this stuff. Some other things I had to do some research on to figure out kind of what the price may be, but just as a reminder, the gray sheet is a guide. It is not 100% infallible. All right, so you got a close-up look at that 1930. Now we have a 1930 from Denver. This coin, you notice almost a different look in general, and this is something we see very typically over all generations of coins, that the different mints had very different strikes and appeal to the coins. So, you may have noticed the other coin had like a little spot on the side, but overall they still called it a 66. This one they called a 65 red, and you can decide if you like the 6 better than the 5. I happen to think that they're both pretty nice coins. 65 red. This is a coin also that I had listed for about $100, but it bids at about 130. So lots of times when I send coins in, I don't put precise values. I like to use $50 increments more or less. So $50, $100, 150. So that's just how I do things when I send stuff into NGC or PCGS. Everyone has their own different way of doing things. All right, next up, this 1930S. So let's take another close look at this coin now. Maybe a little bit more chatter behind Lincoln's head here. A little bit of a spot there above the 1 in 1930. The San Francisco Mint coins were struck a little flatter with higher luster. You'll see that a lot on these coins where you see like the word 1 and then the wheat stocks are not as pronounced, but then you'll see that luster just swirling off of that thing like mad. And you got just a little bit of orange tone on the top of the coin. And a neat coin, this is a coin that I also put in at about $100. 64 red brown, so I think this bids at about $40 is what I've got it at. So nice red color to it, and I think you go red brown because you've got some of that. There's a little orange toning right in front of Lincoln that they're probably anticipating turning brown, but there's really that spot up here on the upper left-hand side from like 10 o'clock to noon that is definitely has some different color to it that they call that a red brown for that mark. I grabbed this 1932 penny also because I thought it had a really nice look to it. Of course, you can see right away that it has those lines on it. Now, this happens a lot with pennies. That was probably a thumbprint from somebody putting it into an album. So that's there. I saw it there. I knew it was there. But then also you look at just the fact that there are not many contact marks. So this had thumb marks on both sides, but the contact marks were a lot less than some of those other coins we looked at right now, where you actually had physical marks on the coins. And then on this coin, just you can see that the fields are really clean from marks, but they have the lines from the thumbprint. So how do they do that? They called it a 64 red brown. So that's a coin that Graysheet has at about 30 bucks. Also, I think I was hoping for a little higher grade on that guy, but 64 red brown, probably a $30 or $40 coin. I had it listed at 100 on our count, but who's keeping score? Not me. All right, we're moving on. All right, now this coin has some wild, deep, rich orange red color to it. This 1932 from the Denver Mint, and you can see how unevenly some of these coins are struck. You see how the L in Liberty is almost gone on this coin on the left-hand side there. But overall, the coin itself has super strong luster, especially for a Denver Mint coin from the 30s. You know, these 1930 coins are sneaky hard to get in high grade. So 1932 from Denver, this came back as 66 red. And it's got the eye appeal, by the way. I mean, when you look at a coin in a gem state, you want to have eye appeal, and just that deep, rich orange red color that it has is really quite appealing and alluring. This is a coin that I had listed also at $100 because that's how I roll, and this coin bids for about 500 bucks. Now, sometimes you guys have asked me if a coin comes back in a value that's higher. So this was an economy service, and you're only supposed to go up to $300, and if coin grades, this is the type of situation where they do not send me an extra bill saying, hey, that coin was too valuable. Because typically what happens is you have a large enough grouping where it's just like one coin. Now, if you're sending in coins where consistently every coin on there was coming back a higher grade, they would probably note it. Or if there was like something that was way out of whack, this just happened to come back the one grade up from where it could have to where it has a real big jump. So they're not going to send me an extra bill for that. Now this is actually a proof, this 53, and it's actually also a variety. And I'm going to tell you about the variety a little bit. Something that was in a set that we had, and the engineer located going through the cherry picker's guide. You see it's got a decent color to it, nice reflectivity, not really any type of cameo look, touch of haze, a little bit of spotting. And then on the obverse, you're going to see a little bit of the same, good reflectivity, but no cameo appearance, pretty strong strike. So this is the FS402 recut coat, and it came back at 65 red. Overall, the color is really pleasing, a nice coin. So that recut, let's take a quick look in the cherry picker's guide, if I may, if I am able to actually do this properly, which I'm not, but let's try it here. The FS guide. Now you got this recut die, and it's really raised high. You know, it was like the edge of his coat. And actually, when you look at it, what happened is there's another variety where you can actually look at, they show how thin his coat is right here. And under the date, and then so they recut it, and then it's like this huge line sticking out, almost like a gash. Whoop. And so let's get out the 20 power and see if we can see kind of what that line looks like. Now we know where it is and what it looks like, and you can see really clearly just how strong that line is. Let me just make one adjustment here pretty quick. I think I can get even a better look at it. Now there you go. And it's cool because it's really noticeable even if you didn't know the coins and the variety. If you were just kind of looking over the coin and you're like, okay, nice even surface, bow tie sticks out a little bit, and then there's like this line that's just popping. So you'd be like, that's kind of weird. It's a funky thing going on there. Just the way it sticks out. So that's kind of a cool find. Value on that guy, I think I had to do a little bit of research, or the engineer did actually. There's a guide listed at about $300, but it looks like they may trade for 100 to 150. Kind of hard to tell exactly. All right, this is cool. So in this box, there was, once in a while, NGC will send in send a little notice back saying, hey, this is a good candidate for conservation. So it's got the line item number on it, which happens to be the next item up for bid, right? So here you go. This one they think I should have considered getting conserved. And this is a 1951 Philadelphia, and it came back at 64 FBL, full bell lines. Overall, a nice looking coin. We're going to look at it without a loop here for a little bit, because you can, Franklin's actually pretty nice to look at without getting too close. You can see some of the contact marks. Behind Franklin, the front field in front of him is really strong. And then we will take a closer look to get the FBL portion. The full bell lines, actually you can kind of see them even just glancing. You can see the quality of this coin. A few contact marks to the left of the Liberty Bell there. And a closer look, you can see there it is. And then the FBL, those bottom bell lines, how strong they are. Now, there it is. Now look at the haze right there. You see how all of a sudden you can see it looks like for those of you who don't know desert landscape, right under the E pluribus unum, that's like looks out like a washed out desert area right there. But the spottiness there, that haziness, that if you have the coin just going around, you don't necessarily notice it right away. You just have to get it at the right angle to the light, and then you can just see that haze pop up a little bit. And that is what they're referring to when they're saying, hey, this could have used some conservation. That wouldn't have hurt the coin at all to do. So these 51 Franklins, I actually had 3 of them that I sent in, and ironically, this one's got a little bit of haze to it also, but it's on the obverse. But it's less of a haze and a little bit more of a tone. Now, I don't know if you can tell the difference, or maybe the haze is something you describe as really only being there at one angle. This one, you can kind of see it from straight on. You'll notice a few fewer contact marks on this coin behind Franklin. They're not there. There's that haze or tone, whichever one you want to call it on this coin. Really clean field in front of Franklin. There's a couple contact marks there on his cheek. And then the reverse, I think is really quite stunning, actually. And it still has a little bit of that tone and haze. It's the type of thing that in the past people would have probably dipped out. But once again, you can see the bell lines are strong. This appeared to be a little bit nicer grade, and it did come back at 65 FBL, so it came back a stronger grade. The 64 bids at about 35 bucks, but the 65 bids at like 140. Last but not least, I had a third one of these guys, and this one we'll take a quick look at also and see that we also had some strong bell lines. These all came in together. They all have a little bit of that same look to them, some of that toning, some of that surface haze a little bit, but overall halfway decent white looking coin with a little tone to them. Now this one actually come back at 66 FBL, full bell lines, and my eye preferred the 65 a little bit, but the 66, great looking coin overall. And the 66 actually bids at $300. And I kind of had put these all in one line item at about 100 bucks each, which, this really breaks that, but I kind of thought they'd be in the 5 range. So that's kind of the route that I took on that. All right, next up we have, you guys may remember this. For those of you who've been watching for a while, thank you. And I had a whole large group of 52S Franklins, and I sent a couple in that actually had come back. 2 came back 66 full bell lines, and you can see the strike on these is really strong. These are all from that same group. They all have that same just nice original white, gentle white color. You look at the bell line, how strong it is, and you just have that little spot just to the left of the would that be called the hammer? Man, I don't know my bell language. Where it just gets weak enough to where the bell line doesn't continue. They call this a 64. And you know, a real nice looking coin, and overall high luster, great eye appeal, great looking coin. And 64s, just so you know, are worth about $60 in gray sheet. And 52S, one of the toughest dates to come to get nice. This coin I didn't think is quite as nice as the last one. You can kind of see the marks a little easier around old Benny Boy's head to the back. And then again, we're gonna look at how strong the strikes are. By the way, I'm gonna talk about the color on these coins. These all came out of those old, they were in the manila holders, but they were inside of plastic. And I'm just gonna gush a little bit over this. No gushing. The color and how nice. I like this color. The coin is not, it's white at one angle, but it has some iridescent to it. Iridescent colors coming around the other way. You know, you just get a little bit of a tone, and it's so subtle. It's like when you see the pearl, the cards with the pearl paint jobs and a different light color. It kind of looks a different color at a different light angle. Nice looking color in my book. Once again, a really strong strike for a 52S. Not quite full bell lines, but man, that is sneaky close. They called this one a 64, and just a lovely coin. These guys, like I said, if you're a Franklin collector and you've been looking for a 52S, you know, I have some. Let's just say I have a few, because, you know, after I worked through the ones that I liked the best, and we got a couple full bell lines out of them, which were like $1,000 type coins in 66, and then I think the 65s were like $500 or something like that. They're good high dollar coins. This one 64, not full bell lines. These ones I sent in economy because I didn't think they'd come back full bell lines. Nice looking coin. A few more contact marks on the face, but they're not harsh marks. They're just kind of light, gentle scuffs. They're not the deep gouges that you'll see on some coins. All right, and then we've got, did I mention I got some 52S's? Now we're gonna look a little closer at this guy here and just point out how clean the fields are. And then once again, the hairline, all this whole area, just a nice original look on these. How nice they are, how well struck they are for the date. Also, most of them have a little bit of that gentle toning to them. Instead of you hitting fast forward on the video right now, I'm going to fast forward. That one is a 65. 65s actually jump up. Oh man, I got my numbers all crossed. But let me just double check here while I pretend to know what I'm doing. Man, I think I got my numbers all mixed up. That's all right. 64s are about $60, and then 65s are about $80. So pardon me while I completely screw up. Oh, okay, this one has more of that toning I like on the back. Look at that. It's a great looking reverse. And then the obverse also, you know, the contact marks a little bit more, in my opinion, on behind his head. You can see a little bit there. But overall, just super clean coins. It was a fun set. If you didn't watch the video, you know, the original video, maybe we can pop a link up here to show, unless the link popped up earlier. And you can look at the original video where we're talking about these guys. So 52S, 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 you got another 65. Once again, super clean. And you can see they can have a contact mark. You can see the one right here in the open field. But mostly it's just one mark that's pretty noticeable. And then the rest of the coin is really clean. And you're going to see I've got just two more to show you. I'm not showing you. I'm just flying through these now because this is the last one here. Because I have one more variety to show you after this of a coin that you're going to want to see. Because it's the type of thing that if you like the mid-century modern stuff, if you're trying to put together some Kennedy halves that if you don't know about, you're going to want to know about, because it's a variety that you can cherry pick, and we're going to go ahead and look at that right now. And there's these 1964 proof Kennedys. Now I've shown in the past, we've had some videos about the enhanced hairline, which is like a recut hairdo, and that there's a serif missing on the eye on that, and that's how you can tell if you don't want to try to figure out what the hair looks like, because it can be difficult to understand what that looks like. But what I want to show you on this coin is we're going to look right at the FG. Okay, there's the FG on that, in between the tail feathers and the leg, and that is the designer's initials. And now I want to look at another one here, and we're going to look at the designer's initials again. And if you couldn't tell already, I'll show you what the difference is on these, what the variety is, what the variety is called. And of course, we're going to do what we always have to do, is get out the whiteboard and show you, of course, that most of them on the G have that serif on them, and this variety, it just goes like that, and it is a straight G, which is what I've known as in the street, just a straight G. So this is the straight G variety, and we're going to look one more time at that G so you can see the difference, so you can find these for yourself. They don't have a huge difference in price necessarily compared to the regular G with the serifs. Maybe even I'll go 20 power for you on this one so you can see what that G looks like when it has the serif going across the top, and one more time what it looks like at the 20 power with the straight G. It just goes up and down and comes to kind of a point. Right? So the straight G in 67, I do have for you some current population reports. This came back, proof 67. Pop on this in NGC is 235 pieces. NGC price guide is $50 on that. But I did get a second coin in. Once again, thanks to the engineer, he's having fun going through some of these modern coins and picking out using the cherry picker's guide, which is something you can do, by the way. You can learn that cherry picker's guide and find some of these varieties. This one came back as 68. And in proof 68, the population's only 94 pieces, under 100 pieces. You know, it bids at about $75. We will see. It looks like we've seen sales examples of over 100.5. So this coin may actually sell for a little bit more than that. So thanks, guys, for bearing with me on this enormous box of $50, a couple of different cherry pickers, some straight G stuff. And leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button. And if you stayed for the whole video, let me know what was different about this video. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.